So, just posted a short after seeing a post on the Orlando group on Facebook. So I'm going to move this monstrosity that I'm building here. Just move everything out of the way. A constant mess. Don't worry, I know where everything's at up here. So, as one of the beta testers for this tiny 4x4 R32 rock buggy, I just saw the post where Don Gargan announced that they are now released for sale as an RTR professionally assembled kit. I am talking about this buggy. I've changed my tires, changed the axles, shocks, motor, lots of things. I've stretched the links, drive shafts, everything. Added the worm gear axles, metal gear servo. It's brushless. Unfortunately, my battery has kaputted on me and will not work right now. Not sure what happened other than it just stays in a box more than anything. What is this? It's my antenna. Way down here. It's not supposed to be there. Anyway, actually I'll just tuck it back up in there. The RTR kit being released comes with everything, but my wheelbase is stretched to, let's see, we'll go axle to axle. I've got almost 100 and, where are we at here? Looks like about 112 to 113 millimeter wheelbase on mine, axle to axle. For anybody getting it, you're gonna love it. You're gonna love it. This thing, I did drive it quite a bit, mostly right here on my desk. I did not take it outside that I recall and use it on rocks or anything. I just mostly desk bashed it a little. The worm gear axles, the gear drive for the brushless motor and all that, mine is quite slow compared to what it was with the normal axles and the N20 motor and whatnot. I did do a N20 for a minute and didn't like it, so went right back to the brushless. My first motor in it was this brushless, ESC and everything. I'm using a GT5 on mine, Fly Sky GT5. The micro board and yeah, it all works really good. I made all my body panels out of aluminum. When I got the beta test kit from Don, mine was a basic kit, had no body, just the cage, plastic shocks, everything that you would expect to come with is what it came with. And I immediately went to upgrading it, and just recently did the heavier brass links. My axle brass weights are handmade out of a coupler. I can't remember what it was for, but I cut them down and notched them to where they fit over the axles. I like mine to droop a little, not completely, but It does seem to work better for me at this height. It does have a little give to it still, but the articulation front and rear on this is almost as equal to my custom build of the Gammy RC with the Losi 124 scale axles. This isn't nowhere near that kind of articulation. The Losi axles were wider and a lot bigger tires, and that Gammy chassis so small that I could stretch it insanely with the wheelbase and made custom lengths and stuff. And the 90mm Gammy chassis is still quite a bit longer than this R32. The R32 is, let's see, don't quote me on this being exact. Let's see, I've got 70mm, I think. Looks like 70, yeah, 70. So we've got a 90mm Gammy chassis, 70mm R32. The Gammy chassis is insane to get electronics inside the cabin area, whereas this one, it was easy to mount the ESC on one side and the receiver on the other. I had the battery in the roof area up here. I have always kept my wires sticking out the back just because it was easy to deal with, instead of tucking everything up, shortening wires and whatnot. The body, this is not like a instructional video. This is just me showing you mine from the beta testing of it. And I will never criticize this in a bad way. I talked to Don extensively about it, and I love this thing. The only thing I recommended that he changed on it was the mounting holes here, because it was very difficult to get those drilled out and tapped to where this roof opens. So I went through problems with that, and that's it. And I let him know. Other than that, I have absolutely no complaints with it. Even with the stock axles and everything, it was a blast. I drove it for a day or two like that, bashed the crap out of it on my desk, and that's just the way I did it. I don't leave any of them stock. I think everybody knows that. I modify all of my Orlandoos. My tiny 4x4 Durock is built like a brick with all the brass that I've put on it. When you're building, when you get this, make sure you don't over tighten these screws right here. If you mess around with it, you strip those out, you're not gonna have fun. So don't over tighten these. That way it's still hingeable. I don't know. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. I'm so happy that I lost a screw on the body again. That one always pops out because the body didn't bend in the way it wanted to, the way I wanted it to. I don't remember what I was about to say. Anyway, just wanted to throw that video out there. Did a short for myself as fanboy, so to speak. Saw the release. Don doesn't pay me. Don doesn't do any of that kind of stuff. I don't have permission. I'm not sponsored in any kind of way. This is just my hobby. This is what I do. I don't build any other RCs. I would if I got into, wanting more, but honestly, changing platforms, it's not for me. I don't even like using multiple different internet platforms. I'm kind of old school. amount of things that you can do with them. I mean, they're fun. They're just fun. I don't want to try a Furitech in it because I think it's too big. I don't know. I've not seen one in one. Of course, there's only a few beta testers that I know of, and couldn't tell you. It was designed by Dominic Widmer, WID. So throw that out there too. Respected to Dom and Don. They're the dudes, man. And of course, Gammy's got his own thing going on all the time, and really wish I would have got one of Gammy's 100mm chassis too. And ever since I saw his, what was it, Miller Jeep, man, I really would like to have one of those, but I don't think he ever sold those. I know a lot of people saw the post on Facebook already, and I didn't. I jumped to making a video with Don's pictures. Whoever took the pictures, awesome pictures, beautiful. Didn't ask permission. This is a fanboy based video, you know, the short that I did. Sorry if I offended anybody, but whoever assembles them, beautiful work. My roll cage instantly flopped on me, the paint. It stayed sticky. Everything where I live stays sticky when I paint because humidity and, yeah, Gulf Coast. Anyway, yeah, I recommend upgrades to them. The worm gear axles, definitely. Even though, you know, I know a lot of people aren't going to want to do that, but if you do get into the upgrades, these worm gear axles are freaking amazing. I'm sure they're probably going to give out on me eventually, but so far I've loved it. Front bias weight, when you've got your battery back here, that's kind of needed. You need your weight, and the Metal Gear servo was a given. I had to do that because I've had so many problems with the little 1.7 Orlando servos. I've changed wheels on it multiple times, changed tires, tried pretty much every one that I have that are 40mm to 36mm. The GK24 39mm that come with it, I do know Don told me they're a new compound and they're softer than they used to be. I do have a set of the original older ones on my Datsun, I think. No. Which one did I put them on? Or are they in the box? They're in the box back here. They're in my stash. No, they're not in my stash. Where did I put those? I really need a bigger desk. No, where did I put my 39s? Oh, they're on my Suzuki. Yeah. Little Suzuki Samurai I'm messing around with. 3D printed myself with my crappy 3D printer. These are the original 39s. And they do have foams in them. Ignore the brass. These are the ones that came with my R32, and they are significantly softer with foams. So if you have a set of the older ones, just know these are a harder compound than the newer ones. So throw that out there. And Don will be most likely only including the new 39s. These are the, I want to say unbranded. I don't remember what they were. They didn't have a brand name list on them when I bought them from AliExpress. They were kind of bargain priced, and the right size, so to speak. It's loose. I think they're good tires. Grippy, not too soft, not too hard. They're kind of like the GK39s from old school, except these have a firmer, like outer, this outer edge is a stiff area, and not great for climbing and rock crawling really, but I like the tire itself. They've got nice pattern on them. They do look a lot like the GK 2439 millimeter tires, but they're shorter. So, and they do have a smaller bead, I think, if I'm not mistaken. My other wheels and tires that I tried on this were the aluminum truck wheels that I drilled out the center, got it nice and neat, nice and pretty, and reversed my wheels. I've tried the GK 2439 millimeters on these, and they slip on these wheels, and the 36 millimeters, they just didn't look right on it to me, and they're a lot softer than these, and these are the RC four-wheel drive 0.7 mudslingers. So anybody getting into the SCX 30s and all that, this right here will fit it. They have the adapters, the axle hub adapters, and the 10 lug wheels. Good luck with those. Don't drop your screws and nuts. Yeah. So as far as wheel options, there's not a lot yet for the Orlando based vehicles. Tiny 4x4s, beadlocks. I've still never got a set. Never got any of the fancy decorative wheels other than the little bitty 15 millimeter metal wheels, which I am currently not using on anything because I took my gaming RC apart. I'm talking about these right here. So these are kind of heavy, good little wheels. The wheels that come on the R32 are resin printed, so take it easy on them, don't break them. I can't remember the size. I don't remember if they're 19 or 20 inch outer diameter wheels. This is one of my favorite sets of Tiny 4x4's resin printed wheels. I broke my original deep dish ones and got another set from Don. These are WL Toys tires that came with the stadium truck wheels, the aluminum ones, on one of my newer creations. Those wheels. These are the 40 millimeter tires, Orlando's. So these are the taller of the Orlando tires, and can't really tell it there. It is significantly smaller. Let's see. I saw a post and was talking to a guy, one of the SCX 30 groups, and he was asking about wheels for the SCX 30s, and I was explaining some of the wheels that fit them and talked to him about these. And you can see they're almost the same height. These are slightly taller. I think they're 42 millimeter. They might be 40. Been a while since I measured them. Yeah, they're like 42 and a half. So these are Porsche Junior model car tractor tires off of a Porsche Junior tractor, and I used, these are basically bonded in with glue. My sprue glue. My duals are bonded together, and the hubs, the center hubs, are Mini Z CNC machined plastic wheels. I can't remember which ones I bought. They're the ones that are on my little Datsun truck. I forget what they're called, but those wheels. I bought multiple sets so I could make those dualies and have a set for other stuff. So the only other ones that I have that are like not, these are horrible 3D printed, but they're much smaller than the Porsche Junior and a lot bigger tread. So I 3D printed the wheels and they're horrible. Tires are off of it's a little 135 scale military tractor, and when I saw them I was like, yep, I want those. So I have a wheel addiction. I know a lot of people do. It's a thing. I like to be able to swap them around and try different ones on different things and see what they're doing, but that's not what this video is about. This is about long-awaited release. I don't know when Dominic designed the R32, but I know it's been in the works for quite a while, and I reviewed it. This one, I beta tested it and reviewed it like, it's been like a year ago, and I didn't play with it. I didn't drive it around for a few months. Had the battery unhooked and everything, so I don't understand what happened. I plugged it in one day, checked the charge on it, plugged it in, drove it on the kitchen table for a few minutes, came back in here, plopped it on my desk, drove it around for a few more minutes, and the next day I went to mess with it again, and it hasn't came on since. I tried charging the battery, took the battery out of Gammy and put it in it and got nothing, but Gammy worked before I took it apart. So I'm quite confused on what I've done. I've had everything out of it, all the electronics and everything, checked everything over. I did find a tiny, oh, it freaked me out too. So I'm kind of thinking that's what happened. I'll show you what I'm talking about in a minute. Dremel wire brushes. I found a tiny little piece of one of these on my board in here, and when I took it out, I actually was on a video call with somebody, Kenneth, and he saw it. I showed it to him, and it came on afterwards, but it won't move forward or backwards. So steering worked. Hoping I didn't fry my board, but I don't think it was the board. I think it's the battery. I've tried hooking up my other batteries to it and still it's the same thing, but I don't know. Either way, not too difficult to work on. I mean, it's not big. It's my smallest body is this Suzuki I made. So, and it's way smaller than the Jeep. And here's the Jeep body next to it, which I'm butchering, but I'll drop it over it. You can see it's the stock length of the Jeep body from here to here. So anyway, I decided to cut my Jeep up because I'm gonna do Suzuki on the Jeep chassis. Gonna do this Gladiator thing. It's a 2-door. I'm not gonna go into the extensiveness of making it a 4-door. I like it. It's different. Doing my own thing here. Just been waiting on my sprue glue to dry. It does take a while. I'm actually sitting here sweating because I've had the heat on in here to help it cure out. Went ahead and got that on there. Just temporary. Stuck it on with a couple of drips of CA glue. I've actually done quite a bit of weird stuff lately. Disassembled one to put together another, and cut up this, made my tow truck finally, and well, my resin band body into a cab. Took the body panels off my Duroc. Not sure why, but just kind of got tired of them. Gonna do something different with it. I've noticed all my diamond plate has tarnished. It's kind of getting this weird gray color to it that looks really cool. They're not painted. Those are actual metal diamond plate. So it's kind of weird, but cool. I was thinking about doing some kind of different front end on it. If I could get a Suzuki body on it, I would, or a Bronco. But the Bronco body I have is die cast metal. Doesn't fit it exact. It's close, but I might make a mold of the, well, that was my main plan. It's been in clay for quite a while, the die-cast Bronco. So I was thinking about making a mold and then vacuum forming also, and making 2 different bodies, one resin, one vacuum formed, of a Bronco, and seeing if I can get one on it. But it works fine the way it is, and I usually don't mess with stuff that works good or looks right. Duroc looks right, works great. The body panels, the roof aluminum panel I had on it was really heavy because it was kind of thick. Even though it was aluminum, it was still kind of heavy. And my hood was part of a sardine can. So I still have them. They're in a box. Oh, the other wheels for the SCX 30 guys, and anybody that wants them for the Orlandoos. Mini Z, kind of pricey, nice and squishy tires, but for Orlando axles, I had to file just a tiny bit on the inside of the rectangle hole, and on the back ones I had to, well, I don't remember if it was back or front, to be honest. They wobbled. They wouldn't mount solid. They kind of wobbled. So what I did, if I can find what I dropped, it rolled away. I'll find it later. And I got the other one here. I took some brass washers and I thinned them. I made them really thin to fit on there, and just kept thinning them until I got them right. Thin it a little bit, stick it on here, mount it on the axle, and just kept doing that until the wobble went away, and until they fit snug, and you know, until they worked. But in order to get the washers on them also, I had to, I didn't have to, I did it just because, but you can see on this one where I machined around the hub area. It was tedious, but in the end they fit and they work, and they're expensive. Half the cost of a RTR R32 kit. Literally, I paid $110 for these. And the now defunct company, I guess, I don't know what's the deal with them, but can't get these anymore. That I've not found any of them anywhere. Same thing though, they fit the Orlando axles. Thinking these were WL Racing brand or something like that. I can't remember. But yeah, these were for WL Toy stadium trucks or something like that. I think it was a stadium truck, but they switched. This was an aftermarket company, and those were almost $100. And I wanted the set of black ones that I saw also, but never did get around to getting them, and now they're all gone. Not to be seen anywhere. So, but anyway, I know I talk about wheels quite a bit and what fits and what doesn't and what can be done. And I do have plans on doing some others. I 3D printed some beadlock rings scaled down to like 20 millimeter or something like that. Been thinking about that. They're all in this box too. Would love to make some beadlocks, because these, let me get my tow truck from up here. I didn't drill them out or nothing, but yeah, they just kind of look good. I've got some other ones. I was gonna do some stuff with them, and I never did it. Here's the 5-spoke ones. Don had mentioned doing some other beadlocks at one point in conversation with me, and I'm pretty sure he was like, don't quote me on making them available and all that. And I'm not, but I saw them, and I'm not ever gonna, I'm not ever gonna forget somebody has some somewhere. Don. I'm fighting with tires right now. Been pushing my luck with my hand, I guess. Trying to heal this finger, and it's a thing. It's a process, and it's not fun. So I guess that doesn't need to be in the box with wheels. Well, brass I-beam that I made. What was I supposed to do? What did I take out? Oh yeah. I want to mix and mash stuff, but I don't want to get into buying more brands, if that makes any sense. I don't. I mean, no insult to SEX Axial over the SEX 30, but I only want the wheels and tires. I don't think I want the rest of it. I really like the Orlandos, so if I got my hands on one, I'm sure I'd mess around with it until I figured out what I'm going to do with it, but kind of stick to the same thing. Been looking at this quite a bit. Reassembled my original OH35AL1 Jeep chassis with all the aluminum on it that I have. I don't have the side panels or the arches or the battery tray or any of that, but that's my original frame, and I had notched it right here for a leaf spring that I did for the, actually had sitting right here for the rat rod Jeep that I was going to build and change my mind on. So, leaf spring. And mounted the frame backwards for the rat rod Jeep. Anyway, we got that put back together and painted it the gloss jungle green that I like. So, yeah, I dig it. Looks good like that. Don't know. Still trying to figure out how to fix the suspension travel on this one. Not crazy about it. It has to sit really high for it to have any kind of articulation. Like way up here, like this high. Like way up. Otherwise it doesn't. It has to have really tall shocks or it just doesn't. And I know it's because of what I did with the shock towers going up through the fenders, because I just wanted to do that. But this one, same chassis rails, just shorter, and this one has pretty decent, I mean, it's not insane, but it's pretty decent articulation. I like it. It'll be a good basher. It's all 3D printed except the axles and stuff. Gonna exo cage it. Been messing around with that. I took apart the Gladiator style W2D chassis roll cage and have the rest of it right here. I'm gonna basically make an exo cage for the little Suzuki. That way I can still use this 3D printed body. Hate to waste everything. I end up throwing a lot of stuff in the garbage. These are 3D printed. This is 3D printed. It's a separate bumper and grill, and I JB Quicked them together. And not sure how this bond is going to be with the sprue glue stuff and the 3D print plastic, but it's on here. I've got a lot of putty work that's going to have to be done to make it fit right and look right, but I dig it. And I've got door bars. I got door bars that fill that up. So that's going to look pretty kick-ass. They're not a perfect fit, but I don't care. Just looks pretty good. It was actually a lot easier than I thought it was going to be getting all the lights and everything out of this, because I had them, so I moved my brake lights, tail lights up higher, and the lenses that were in it, brake light lenses, were just red plastic that I shaped to fit it, and they were pressed in, but the mounting hardware for the rear brake lights was not included in this Jeep. I mean, it came with it, but I never used them. Because of my modification I just used black silicone, RTV silicone, to hold them in. So, took all my window stuff off of the body and everything. I've just got a pile of crap everywhere. Yeah, I'm happy to see that the R32 is coming out now, and the fact that it's an RTR and professionally assembled and looks absolutely stunning compared to my kind of beat up one now. Yeah. I don't know. I'm gonna go back to working on the green Jeep though. I've got putty work to do and more of this stuff so I can fill that gap. This one, this side, I had to push it back because I actually cut it just a little too short. I've still got a lot of shaping to do here, but I like it. I like it. Probably going to do a partial floor in it or something, give it some support, but I can't do that until I have a chassis that's going to go under it. I'm not sure which one I'm going to do. This one will fit lengthwise, but I don't want leaf springs, and the problem that I'm seeing is I'll have to shorten the front part of the chassis to get it to work better, because I want the axle as far forward as possible in here. I could notch out that block, I guess, and notch out the back of the grill and bumper, but I probably won't. I'll probably just redesign a frame, because I do need it to fit just right. So, but it would sit about right there. It just doesn't work for me, because don't want leaf springs for one, but I'd have to cut all of this out to get the axle forward. But I already gave this chassis away. I just haven't had the money to mail it. Probably gonna sketch this out, trace it out, and then do some sketching to figure out how to modify it to where it'll work in this, because it's set up just right for what I like, as far as frame drop in the center for the transmission, and the high arch in the front is going to open all that space up for articulation and servo clearance. So probably going to redesign this chassis, because it will work on this lengthwise. And that's my thing right now, just trying to figure out what I can modify next and come up with. The tow truck was over a year and a half of thinking about it before I actually did it, and it went together really easy once I figured out how I was going to mount everything and where to put it. And yes, that is the Toyota Tundra front bumper back bumper on the front of my van, with tow hitch. So front and rear tow hitch. Yep. This is honestly one of my favorite builds, because it's just funky and cool. I 3D printed the utility box. It's, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 6 pieces. That's it. 6 pieces. I've got the doors and the front of the bed and everything still. I just haven't put them on. There's a door enclosure for the front part here and the whole back, and then these are doors also. So, but I'm going to be cutting it up a little bit to mount servos in it for the boom, and for the winch. I'm planning on replacing both of those servos, because those are just old junk servos that I had laying around from years and years and years ago. just stuff in boxes. But yeah, that's where I'm at right now. I've been working on that all day. Well, not all day, but all morning. All morning. It just takes hours and hours and hours for the putty to dry, the sprue goo. I extra braced this up in the back down here. It's 2 layers thick, and then bonded the corners extra thick because this one cracked right away when I was bending it. This corner cracked right there. Come on, focus. It's not going to focus. You can see it though. It's right there. That's the reason I went ahead and took it apart and started to do this, is because my modified rear that was on it, I think I threw it up here somewhere. I don't see it. I feel like I'm talking to myself. Yeah, I don't know where I put it now. Anyway, oh, there it is. The modified rear tailgate. You can see I did 2 layers thick on it also, because the only place it was attached was right here and right here to the back of this body right under the tail lights. And removing the body from the chassis over and over just kept it weak, and it kept cracking. I had to keep using CA glue on it to get it to stay where I could use it. And it just kept cracking and kept cracking and kept cracking. Tired of putting more CA glue on it, so figured I'd start fresh with old crap and just go the old style that I used to do, and styrene and shoe goo. I said shoe goo. Sprue goo. So, not sure what tires and wheels I use on it. I do like the 36 millimeters on this. They look right on it. Definitely about the right size. I haven't even looked at 39s on it. I can get it to stand up. It's got a wobbly wheel weight in it. It's not a snug fit. Just sit that there. Yeah, the 36s look right on it. We'll throw one of them tractor tires down here real quick. Just insane. Too much. Too much. I don't have any others handy. But yeah. Anyway, I'm going to go to bed. So, appreciate you watching. Like, share, subscribe, and all that jazz. You know, all that stuff. I'm just going to keep doing what I do. I got Bondo work to do. Anyway, y'all have a good one.